If you're an apprentice, you know that nailing your professional behaviors is a really big deal. And honestly, one of the trickiest to get right is behavior B1, working without bias. So in this explainer, we're going to follow the journey of an apprentice named Jody. We'll break down exactly how you can understand this skill, actually develop it, and then prove it for your own assessment.
So here's our roadmap. We'll kick things off with Jody's quest to figure out what unbiased work even means. Then we'll watch her develop those skills in the real world, see how she logs the proof for her APTEM portfolio, and finally, get her prepped to absolutely ace her endpoint assessment. Let's get started and meet Jody. Okay, so this is Jody. She's a super bright and ambitious market research executive apprentice, and she's working at a big retailer you've probably heard of, Ibis Stores. She's really on a mission to become a top-tier professional. And you know, like any hero in a story, Jody has a quest. Her mission is to totally master one of the most critical parts of her whole apprenticeship, behavior B1, works without bias. And she learns really fast that this isn't just some box she has to tick. No way. It's totally fundamental to everything she does in market research. So to get started, Jody turns to her mentor, Adam, to really get a grip on the fundamentals. I mean, before she can even start practicing it, she needs to know, what does working without bias actually look like in her day-to-day job? Well, Adam starts with the official definition. He explains that it's all about being a detective, not a storyteller. Your job is to follow the evidence, wherever it might lead, not try to make it fit a story you already have in your head. It really boils down to objectivity, fairness, and basing every single decision on cold, hard facts. Then Adam explains something absolutely crucial. He uses this great analogy of an iceberg. The little tip of the iceberg that you can see, that's conscious bias, the prejudices we actually know we have. But the real danger, the huge part of the iceberg, is hidden under the water. That's unconscious bias. These are all the hidden shortcuts and assumptions our brains make on autopilot, and they can influence our work without us even having a clue. But why is this so important for a company like Ibis Stores? Well, Adam lays out the domino effect. A tiny unconscious bias in just one survey question could lead to a totally flawed report. That flawed report could then lead to a multi-million-dollar marketing campaign for the wrong product. It just erodes trust and can really damage the company's reputation. For a market researcher, getting this right is just non-negotiable. All right, so with the theory down, Jody is ready to put it into practice. And this is where her manager, Riedel, steps in. Riedel is all about real-world applications, so she gives Jody a task: review a brand new customer survey before it goes out to thousands of people. Riedel spots a problem almost immediately. The original question, "Don't you agree our new packaging is a great improvement?" is a classic leading question. It's basically pushing people to say yes. Riedel shows Jody how to rephrase it to be neutral. How would you describe your opinion of our new packaging? It might seem like a small change, but it makes a massive difference to the quality of the data they'll get back. Riedel leaves Jody with this really powerful piece of advice, and it pretty much becomes Jody's mantra. It's that constant reminder to just step back and let the evidence speak for itself, no matter what she personally thinks or hopes the outcome will be. So to help Jody make this a real habit, Riedel gives her a particle checklist. And this goes way beyond just survey questions. It includes stuff like making sure the group of people you survey is actually representative of your real customers and committing to interpreting data honestly. Yep, even if it tells you something you really don't want to hear. So Jody is really starting to develop this skill. But if you're an apprentice, you know that's only half the battle. Now she has to prove it. And this is where her coach, Olivia, comes in. Olivia is an expert in helping apprentices build a rock-solid evidence portfolio in AppTEM, their online learning platform. Olivia makes it super clear. The evidence has to be tangible. You can't just say you work without bias, you have to show it. This means Jody needs to be saving things like the before and after versions of her surveys, the final balanced data report she writes, and even feedback emails from Mercedal that praise her objective approach. You need the receipts. Now, reflective accounts are absolute gold, but they've got to have structure. Olivia gives Jody this simple but incredibly powerful 4-step formula. It's not just about saying what you did. It's about explaining why it mattered, what you learned from it, and how it made a real-world difference. This is how you turn a simple task into powerful evidence of your professional development. All right, we've reached the final stage of Jody's quest, the endpoint assessment, or EPA, the final boss. She's got the skills, she's got the evidence. Now Olivia is going to coach her on how to bring it all together and talk about it with confidence in her final professional discussion. Olivia starts with a direct, really common question.
What the assessor really wants to know here is about Jody's process. How does she actually put this behavior into practice every single day? So Olivia provides a powerful framework, not a script. First, talk about your process. Second, mention a tool, like a checklist or peer reviews. And third, this is the crucial part. Give them proof with a specific example. Something like, on this sustainable packaging project, I made sure to use our peer review checklist to ensure all questions were neutral before we launched. Boom. Okay, next up is a scenario question. This one tests your deeper understanding. The assessor wants to see if Jody can spot potential problems before they happen and explain how she'd navigate them. For this type of question, Olivia recommends the classic STAR method. That's situation, task, action, and result. It is the perfect way to structure a great story. You set the scene, you explain your task, you detail the specific actions you took to deal with the bias, and then you share the awesome result. It's a surefire way to show you know your stuff, even under pressure. And here it is, the tough one. What do you do when a senior manager is maybe pushing for a certain result? This question isn't just about your research skills, it's about your professional integrity. For this tricky situation, Olivia suggests a kind of bridge framework. The key is not to be confrontational. First, you acknowledge their point of view to build a connection. Then, you gently recenter the conversation back on the data and the project's real objectives. And finally, you stand on the principle of your professional integrity by presenting the findings transparently. This approach shows you can be both diplomatic and ethical. And just like that, Jody has completed her quest. From theory to practice, from gathering evidence to acing the EPA, she's now totally confident in her ability to work without bias. So this last question isn't actually for Jody, it's for you. This is an ongoing practice, right? It's all about self-awareness. So what's one hidden assumption you might hold, and what's one small step you can take this week to challenge it?